Hi, I'm Rachel from Cap and Cork, and we're stepping back up to the bar today, and we're drinking outside of the box again with Brian.
Welcome back.
What are we doing today, Brian?
Today we're diving into tequila,
Okay.
specifically margaritas.
Which is like the #1 consumed drink in America.
Exactly. Everybody in this world
Loves
has had a margarita, loves a margarita. Nothing better poolside.
Oh my gosh,
Nothing
yes.
better on a beach.
Especially as we're moving into, a lot of people have been on spring break or
Right, they're coming home, they've had them, or they had them at home.
How do you hold on to that feeling?
Either you need the feeling or you want the feeling.
Right.
The best way to have summer in a glass is a margarita.
Margarita. So where are we going to start off with?
So when you start with the margarita, as we follow our drinking outside the box,
Right.
you start with the most traditional.
The original. So what would be the original recipe or formula for
The
that?
original margarita, from depending on who you talk to, the 30s or the 40s, is just 3 ingredients.
So super simple.
Easy. Super simple. Blanco tequila,
Okay.
Cointreau,
Okay.
lime juice.
Well, that's not too
It doesn't
bad.
get a whole lot easier than
No,
that.
no.
The fun part is you play with your proportions, but it's almost 1-to-1. Just
Even better.
One part
I
of
don't have to do
everything.
math. This would be Rachel's cocktail.
you put it on some ice, you shake it up, you put it in a glass.
Well, let's
So,
try the original and
I
see
mean,
what's going. Doesn't get
Now, as we've discussed in prior videos, I like to do a 2-ounce drink, so I'm not going to do a 2-2-2 because
that'd be a pretty big drink.
That'd be a pretty big drink. But we're going to scale it back a little bit,
okay.
and with a lot of things in life, fresh is best.
So do you have to use fresh limes?
You don't have to.
It's just a nice add.
It's the freshness adds a lot of good
Fair
flavor.
enough.
It's bright. It's delicious. So we go with about 1 ounce. Fresh squeezed lime juice.
So tell me a little bit about Cointreau then.
Cointreau is a French liqueur made from cognac and bitter orange.
Okay.
It is a little bit on the sweeter side. So as you'll see, a lot of you that like margaritas notice I'm not adding any sweetening to it.
Fair enough. So that will balance then in turn
The
with
tartness.
the tartness of the lime. And
adds that little bit of sweetness.
Yep.
I'm going a little bit under 1 ounce on this just because it is a powerful orange liqueur.
perfect.
I forgot I'm making 2. So we need a little bit more lime juice
Bonus.
in there. And also with using fresh is you get the zest and oils from the skins in there, which gives it even more of a brighter flavor.
That's what I was thinking. It's a little more true to flavor.
Right, true to how a lime actually tastes.
Right.
You know, you lose a little bit of that in using the bottled, but it's fine.
Yeah. So with
It's more
this-
important for you to make the drink than the fuss over.
Bingo. Yeah, you absolutely can use lime juice that's
Right.
been pre-pressed or bottled or
And being that this is the most traditional of the drinks,
right.
we're using a very traditional, value-oriented, which would have been kind of more the style back in the day
Okay.
of a Blanco tequila.
Blanco.
This is Luna Azul. And
So
since-
what's the history of the margarita?
So, as with all great cocktails, it's a murky history.
Myths and legends.
Myths and legends,
abound.
many people claiming ownership to the recipe.
Nice.
So the most fun ones are, of course, the ones you want to look into. There's the story of Margarita-themed in Acapulco who had her friends over for a party and she just whipped it up.
Just made it up on the.
And then all of a sudden,
Fair enough.
it was the talk of the town. This was in the mid-40s, according to
And
her.
everybody had to have a margarita.
Exactly, because it was that time frame. Tiki drinks, south of the border, all of that fun stuff happened then.
Okay.
The other fun one was the Tijuana Showgirl, Marjorie.
I am a fan of Marjorie.
She shows up at a bar. I just forgot the bartender's name. I think his name was Eddie.
Might be.
She comes up to him and says, "Eddie," if his name's Eddie, I'm allergic to all hard alcohol except tequila.
Oh, the woes. Wait.
That sounds pretty modern, doesn't it?
Allergic to all.
Allergic to everything.
All the things.
So he takes a traditional shot, tequila, salt, lime, mixes it all up together, adds a little bit of Cointreau, because Cointreau was popular then.
Okay.
Throws it into a drink. She loves it, becomes the talk of the town in Tijuana.
And it becomes
the margarita. So you just add a little ice to a tin, throw a big one in there. Again, make a mess. It's great fun. Break it in there.
So not a lot involved in it.
Really, this is the hardest part. Shaking it and not getting it all over yourself. That's why I recommend a double tin.
Okay.
Because then you don't have to worry about breaking glass if you use the glass one on top. And since it's going to be cold, it's going to pull them together. Cold causes the vacuum. Give her a shake till she's really cold.
Okay.
Should take about a minute,
okay.
45 seconds.
That's not bad.
When your hands don't want to do it anymore because it's too cold, you call her quits.
Frostbite sets in.
Really. I mean, that's the fun part. And you just go. Since it's a tropical drink and it's hot out, you want it as cold as possible. This is the thing your bartender hates to do when you order a drink. There's that vacuum.
And voila.
Now,
is there anything significant about the Margarita Glass?
No, it's just called a Margarita Glass.
It looks fancy.
It looks fancy. It's fun. I'm going to strain out. You don't have to. Just catch those ice pieces that broke off.
So when people think of a margarita, I think most in our area would probably think of a frozen margarita.
Frozen or on the rocks, of course.
Those
traditional.
The true scenarios. Is there a right or wrong?
As with all things.
No.
No. It's however you want to do it. As you can tell, I didn't salt it, because originally it wouldn't have been salted, and the lime just makes it look nice. The ultimate traditional.
Those are beautiful.
Not a lot of color. It's nicely shaken up and cold.
Still beautiful. Cheers.
Cheers. So it's tart.
So it's really well balanced. You get that tartness, but it's not what I would say overwhelming on the palate.
It's not too sweet. You still get orange.
And I can still, I will say, taste the tequila.
The tequila's there. The alcohol comes through.
You haven't hidden it
No.
away.
I like a cocktail that you still know is a cocktail.
What you're drinking and
But it's not
the elements.
so strong
right.
that you're not going to be able to drink 4 or 5 of them.
And ultimately, very refreshing, which I think is the ultimate goal of a tequila or of a margarita.
It's just a flavorful drink.
It's delicious. How do you go anywhere from here? Like, I feel like
Well,
this
the
looks
next
pretty
one
darn
we're
good.
going to is for when all your friends are over.
Oh,
And you need to batch it out.
that's a serious, because I was actually going to ask that question. It's like, that's a lot
It's a lot of work to make more than 2.
too.
But when you have 5, 6 of your friends over, you're at the pool,
And you
need to
don't
take
wanna
some- and you
continually
don't want to keep
making
making
individual-
them. We're going to make up a batch next.
All right, batch it is. So we tackled the original traditional
Yeah.
1930s, 40s margarita.
Exactly.
When I think margaritas, though, I think friends, family. I'm not going to
Outside.
squeeze that many limes.
Yeah, you don't want to stand behind a bar just
all night
not
long.
enjoying yourself.
Right. If I'm going to make margaritas, so I'm going to do.
Make a batch. You're going to get your fun pitcher out and you just throw it together.
Just throw it?
Just throw it together. I'm not going to measure this one at all.
Okay.
I mean, I'm measuring a little bit because I'm using whole containers.
Fair enough.
But
that's a good unit of measure.
Right, a unit of measure. We're just dumping,
Okay.
and then you ice, and then you drink.
Okay.
So
this will be perfect
this
for lake season, beach season, patio season.
And as we're going full easy, so we're gonna start in. We're just gonna take some lemon slices.
Just throw them in.
Throw them in. Take some lime wedges.
Just throw them in.
Throw them on in. This is your easy.
This is pretty
There you go.
lackadaisical. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Well, lackadaisical, perfect. Last minute.
A little casual.
If you have the stuff, just throw her on in. Lime juice. And as you can see, we're not squeezing. This is bought from the store lime juice. We're just throwing
This is probably my level of prep.
throwing her on in.
Okay.
Go for it. Lemon juice.
Okay.
So this is a little different.
A little bit different.
A little more tartness, but again, you're outside. You're with your friends.
You want it fresher,
You want it
brighter.
You want bright. Go for it. Just, throw some in there. We're not measuring.
You haven't measured yet.
I haven't. I'm not looking at
You
anything.
didn't even count your lemon
I'm
slices.
not. I'm just going for it. We're going for triple sec this time. We're not going for Cointreau. Not that
Triple
you don't.
sec and equivalent.
So there's still orange liqueur.
Okay.
Not as high of a product level.
Fair enough.
But you love your friends and family. But
batch
batch
cocktails,
Batch it.
that's kind
Just,
of the route you go.
You know,
Nobody's gonna notice.
about that much.
About that much.
About that much. Make life fun sometimes.
That's what I'm gonna put on the recipe card. About that much.
About that much.
Okay.
We are going with a nicer tequila because you still want good flavor to come through. And while the last one was very traditional, this is also very traditional, but it's a really nice tequila and it will shine through on
Okay.
this.
And this
one.
one's the hiatus blanco.
This is the hiatus blanco.
Okay.
And you just,
Sort of top off
you
that.
go about that much. Make the pitcher fullish.
Full. Okay. Fullish.
Fullish.
Duly noted.
You stir it on up.
This may be your easiest recipe yet.
Not complicated.
No, not at all.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it. We made the margarita.
So this one's another one that will be on the rocks, correct?
We're gonna do this one on the rocks. We're
Okay.
still doing it in the traditional Margarita glass
Fair enough.
because they're fun. I do need to grab the ice.
Okay.
And as it is, you stop at the grocery store, you stop at the gas station, you grab the party ice.
Everybody gets the party ice.
You get the
yes.
party ice. Don't go for anything special. Get the party ice.
Because it still serves its purpose.
It's, it's party ice. There's a reason it's called party ice. And the ice takes up space,
Okay.
so you drink more of them, but less at the same time.
It serves a purpose. There's a science
the ice
behind
fills it up. You don't.
It's socially conscious ice.
You want to enjoy the whole night. You don't want to have to go to bed at 4:30. Well, so, and also with when you do a batch, you can do it up ahead of time. You can
So
throw it
that
in
you
the
could
fridge.
throw it in the fridge,
Throw it in the fridge in the morning.
and then the only thing you have to worry about that night is
Ice and
filling
glasses.
the glasses with ice.
Cut a little lime wedge just for the fun of it.
This would be even a great one. Could you put it in a decanter?
Put it in the pit. Put it in
A
the
pitcher, the spigot.
Yes, the serving thing.
Okay. There you go.
Fill it up. Have the ice and glasses next to it. People can serve themselves. You get to enjoy your party.
Ooh, self-serve
Very
margaritas.
important to enjoy yourself. No straining. Get the pulp in there.
And this one has a slightly different color.
It looks more of the traditional margarita you get in the restaurant.
Probably
It
because
looks
you
like
have
it.
both citrus represented
well, and-
between the lemon and the lime.
Right. So this one, just throw her together
Okay.
and go for it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Very full. So much more citrus forward.
Much more citrus. A little
But-
sweeter.
Oh yeah, and that's why I was thinking that sweetness is there. But
The tequila's a little more hidden, but it's definitely
delicious.
there.
Yes. Which I think is what you want when you're trying to appeal to a multitude of palates.
Right.
most of our friends and family aren't alcohol forward drinkers. So this would be a delicious surprise for them.
But tasty.
And refreshing. I think having it on the rocks and the glass filled with ice makes a huge difference.
Very cold.
So like you're getting that blast, of refreshment right from the
It's
start.
more tart as I drink it. But as we did, there was no measuring.
And it took minutes.
And you had a whole batch ready. There's
go.
enough for 6, 7 more of these.
I like it.
It's a lot of fun.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, we tackled the classic margarita.
The classic.
We threw a party.
We did.
These are not outside the box.
Those are.
How do we start drinking outside the box?
So really for a margarita to get outside the box is a little difficult. I mean, yes, there's all the different fruit flavors, and yes,
Is there,
all the,
is there a formula for a margarita that we can then...
I mean, it's tequila, it's orange liqueur, and it's citrus.
Okay,
So we're sticking with tequila.
that's a staple.
We're switching up
The
the
citrus.
citrus by adding orange
Okay.
and lime,
Oh,
and we're switching up the orange liqueur.
okay.
So we're triple sec
So
and Cointreau.
heavy on the orange side.
Very much more orange,
Okay.
very much more on the sweet side. We're gonna be going to Italy to go to Italicus.
Is that where you get margaritas?
It is not at all.
Okay.
But this is a bergamot liqueur, so very bitter orange.
Okay.
So not nearly as sweet.
So it will definitely shift the whole palate.
The whole palate's kind of going 180 degrees,
That's okay.
but it's fun.
Yes.
And we're also changing presentation. We're going into a rocks glass, not the Margarita glass.
Ah, I see.
So we're mixing it
Lots
around.
of variables. Okay.
And we are gonna salt this one,
Okay.
but not the rim.
Is there a science behind the salt?
Well, salt and citrus just go together.
Okay.
So
It's a natural
salt if you want to
pairing.
salt.
We won't
But
judge.
we're not salt baying, but we're going a little salt.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, it'll go on my shirt. So just like kind of the beginning, lime juice, about an ounce.
Okay. Fresh.
Fresh. This one is important for fresh. If for nothing else, then you just really want that flavor. It's actually not as tart as the jar stuff usually.
That's what I was thinking. It probably has less acidity to it in a way. It's more of the pure juice.
Correct. So about an ounce. This time I remembered I'm making 2.
That's probably good. So this is obviously going to be a fresh take on the margarita. Are there other variations that you've seen?
Well, I mean, there's always, you can throw in mezcal, which is, of course, a cousin
And that would
to
have a little
tequila.
bit more
Earthy,
earthen,
smoky
flavor to it.
Correct. You can, of course, use reposado. You can use añejo, which are different age designations.
Okay. How will that aged spirit, that
It'll
aged tequila
add
impact?
a little more sweetness.
Okay.
Because the barrel lends
It's taking
vanilla.
the barrel flavors.
Right. So the vanilla and the toffee will come through.
Okay.
The tequila just tends to be a little sweeter. So
That shifts that whole palate again.
from a traditional
Fair enough.
to
Tell me more about this.
so this Italicus is a newer item that we just picked up.
It's a beautiful bottle.
It's a beautiful
if nothing
bottle.
else.
It has the Roman column to
Yeah.
it. I mean, the fonts.
I even thought like the top looks like it's tiled.
It does. It's got the black and
Yeah.
white marble look to it. It's
And you can use this
you can use it in place of almost in any drink of an orange liqueur,
Okay.
as long as you don't want it to be as sweet.
Okay.
So when you want a little bit more bitter,
Then that's a good
then this is a great mix.
mix or
Or if you just want to
substitution.
switch it up a little bit. I think it's delicious.
I think it's a next move. It's like a level up for those that are expanding their palates, when you can move away from the overly sweet or
Right.
that profile.
We all start on sweet.
And that's fine. It's fine and it's safe and it's delicious. But I think as you mature in your cocktail,
Correct.
drinking, that's the next step.
It is.
So this would be a fun one even to experiment with at a home bar.
Right. And as a lot of people like to have things that look good on their back
It's
bar, as we said, beautiful bottle.
beautiful.
It's very different than everything else.
Fair enough.
And people are going to ask you,
What's that?
what's that?
And can I have it in a
try
cocktail?
What do you do with it?
There you go.
So we're going with Pasote Blanco.
Okay.
The right flavors to match with the bitter and the tart and that little bit of sweet.
Is this one going to be more tequila forward because?
It will be.
Okay.
It definitely will be.
Will it be because of the ratio or simply because of the selection of the spirits?
The selection of how it works.
Okay.
And we are going a little bit more spirit forward than we have.
Fair enough.
Definitely on the party one. The party one was more mixed forward.
Right.
But again, we wanted that to be for a party.
Something that you
want
would
it-
drink all night long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going with our big cube in our rocks
The
glass.
big, beautiful cube.
And then we are also still gonna shake it on ice because you want to get this one really nice and cold.
So what do we have in the glass right now, or in the shaker right now?
In the shaker right now, forgot the orange juice. Thank you.
I was just looking over and I was like, I don't think he squeezed the orange.
I didn't. I forgot the orange.
I'll cut that one in.
I'm just gonna go right into it.
Enjoy.
All right, so we've got orange juice, fresh squeeze, lime juice, fresh squeeze, the Italicus bergamot liqueur, and Pasote.
Okay.
So we
Still very simple,
It-
very basic in the elements.
margaritas are ingredient low, lot of reward though.
Okay.
So again, shake till it's cold.
Cold. Until your fingers have frostbite.
Till you can't feel the tips of your fingers.
Still think I should time you.
That's how you get your workout.
There. Working on
I think it's where they got the idea for the shake weight.
Probably a bartender probably.
And being that has a lot more fruit juice into it, it's foamier.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun.
And straining over your classic clear ice.
Just makes a beautiful cocktail. Catch the pulp. And by shaking over the ice first, you don't melt the big cube as fast. And you don't dilute it as quick.
Beautiful. Not a lot of color differentiation between the three. The first one I think is the most different. This one looks pretty similar, but I think it's because it also has more citrus in it.
Right.
The second one did. So you didn't rim the glass in salt.
So that's personal preference. I don't like a really salty margarita.
Okay.
So I think by just taking a little
Just a sprinkle.
and sprinkle it, it gets into the drink. If you really wanted it incorporated, just put it in before you shake it.
Fair enough. The salt will still have that same effect of amplifying the flavors
Of the citrus,
of the citrus.
and the tequila. And you still get, I mean, it has a different aroma.
It smells great on the nose. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my goodness. So I would say not sweet, but that citrus at the front
Yes.
makes it entirely different. But it also balances so well with the Pasote Blanco that
That had that extra.
that
And the
Oh my
bitterness And I say bitterness, but I don't mean it's bitter.
Right.
It's not bracing. It's not going to make your mouth go.
No, it's more about the like effect that it has on your palate,
Right.
and what it activates. So it actually makes me like salivate more,
You want more of it.
and you want more.
And not the tart acidic want more.
Mm-mm.
It's just very unique and fun.
Oh.
This one's harder to put down.
This one I'm just gonna have to take with me. It's so good. And amazingly, I feel like I can taste the salt. Like I feel
Yeah,
like the
just that
salt
little.
is activating.
But it's not like you just licked salt.
Right. It's definitely not the entire rim, which I can't say is my favorite part of a traditional
But
margarita.
I do like that little bit of it because it does play so nicely.
Right. It serves a purpose. There
Yes.
is a science and a purpose behind that salt. Well, Brian, I think you definitely pushed us outside of the box once again. Stepped up the bar, so we'll definitely share this recipe with everybody because I think they're going to want to try it at home. It's just elevating the margarita.
I mean, I say it's my margarita because it's the one I'm gonna want.
It is.
Well, I do enjoy the other two styles, and they have their place.
They have their place. They have their time.
But if I'm making one for me, it's gonna be this one.
It's perfect. All right, Brian. So we tackled the old fashioned on our first video.
We did.
Now we've conquered the margarita. Next, we may have something up our sleeve for our next video. We'll just have to see.
Could be fun.
But I don't know, this margarita may be hard to top, but I want to hear what special out of the box margarita.
How crazy can you all get?
Right. What's your twist on this great summer classic that is the #1 cocktail in the US? And now, having had this one, I absolutely understand why.
Yeah.
So comment in comment section below, and let me see if I can toss in a fun prize. We'll see what I can come up with. Never know.
And always like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
We've got new videos all the time.
Yep. You'll be the first to find out what's going on and be able to follow the fun that we're having here at Captain Cork. Cheers.
Cheers.